In this video, we're going to look at how to make a graph of volume versus mass so we can determine the density of a metal. So first thing is open up Microsoft Excel. Now I've already gone ahead and done that. And once you open it up, type in your volume data for your different trials, like I have here in one column. So on the left, you're going to type in your volume, and then just to the right of that, you're going to type in the corresponding masses. Now, once you have your volume and your masses entered into Excel, now we need to graph it. So what you want to do is highlight the data, just as I've done here, and then you're going to go to Insert. Okay. So now your version of Excel may be a little different than mine, but they're hopefully pretty much the same. So we're going to go to Insert, and if I scroll over, I'm going to find over here where my cursor is, you see there's a XY scatter graph. So I'm going to click on a scatter graph. Okay. Now you can also go up to the top, click on Insert, Chart, and then scroll down to XY scatter. So you can do it either way, and it will graph that data for you. Now, as you can see, this is kind of small, so we want to make this its own page. So over here on this graph, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go down to where it says Move Chart. So I'm going to click Move Chart, and then it's going to be, I'm going to click a new sheet. So that's going to put this chart on a brand new sheet, and I'm going to title it Density. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. Now it has that chart, my graph, on its own page. Now I need to add a title. So I'm going to go up here where the title is, and I'm going to double click on that. Let's close that. I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to type in density of unknown, whoops, we can't spell, metal. You can title yours whatever you like. I also need to give it a title for my X and my Y axis. So I'm going to go over here. You can go to Quick Layout, and you can just play around with it a little bit, but you can click on one of these, or you can go over here to Add Chart Element and Axis Titles. So if I click on Axis Titles, horizontal and vertical, you see the axis titles appear. Now on my Y-axis over here, this is going to be my mass, and that is in grams. So we need to be sure we label that. And down here on the X-axis, I'm going to click on that. Oops. I'm going to highlight that, and that is my volume in milliliters. Okay, so we've got our X and Y axis labeled. Now we need to add what we call a trend line, or a line that will connect these dots. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can go over here to Add Elements and scroll down to Add Trend Line, or you can move your cursor over to one of these dots, one of the points, and right click on it and scroll down and put Add Trend Line. Okay, so either one of those will work. So I'm going to add trend line, and I want a linear trend line, so it'll be a straight line. Okay, so you can see here we have a straight line, and I want to get the equation for this straight line. Remember, the equation for a straight line is y equals mx plus b. So if I right click on this and scroll down to Format Trend Line, it'll open up a little sidebar here, and I want to click here where it says Display Equation on Chart. So this y equals mx plus b, y is your y-axis value, m is the slope, and m is the slope, which for this graph will be our density, x is the x value, and the y, or b rather, is the y-intercept. Now we want to set our y-intercept to 0 because if we have no mass, we should have no volume. So if you go back over here where it says set intercept and I click on that, you can see it removes that. It sets the y-intercept to 0. So y equals mx plus b. Now you can see that for this particular sample data, y equals 10.504x, where 10.504 is my density. So that would be in grams per milliliter. And now I know the density of this unknown metal by graphing it. Okay? So play around with it a little bit. Be sure that you get comfortable using Excel to do some basic graphs like this, because it's a very important tool that you want to learn. So good luck.